It's the staff presentations today. Ted and Alice had a little lunch with some of us yesterday. So it's just the staff presentations today. And Colin is going to talk on behalf of all of us, everybody. And that's it. And those are the last words from me. Over to you, Colin.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is, I'll have to read this one, I think that's all the glasses and you've got papers. It's a somewhat unique occasion for the Essex Chronicle because not only has Ted reached the magical official retirement age of 65, he has also spent all of his working life here, which is a considerable achievement in this day and age. And Ted joined the Chronicle straight from school in January 1943 and has now been with the company 49 years. In December 1944 he was called up into the army and spent some time in the Far East in Hong Kong and Singapore, and it was during his army service that he and Alice got married. On his demob he returned to the Chronicle and progressed from being a linotype operator to foreman of the linotype department and then on to deputy works manager and production manager, before finally moving sideways for health reasons to general administration manager. I've known and worked with Ted for nearly 40 years now, and in current computer terminology I would describe him as a WYSIWYG, which is an acronym for what you see is what you get. During those 40 years there have been many radical changes to the Chronicle which have affected the staff, the printing techniques and the actual structure of the building. But through all of this, Ted has always remained constant. He's always had the same quiet, calm and friendly personality, the same generous and compassionate nature, always prepared to give constructive and helpful advice and always willing to help anyone, either with personal or business problems, even when he's been obviously very busy himself. And it is for all these reasons that Ted fully deserved all the respect and admiration that he receives from his present and past colleagues. Personally, I have a lot to thank Ted for, because after I joined the company as an apprentice in 1952, it was he who taught me the basics of the printing trade, and particularly the typesetting side, and his sound advice, his values and particularly his friendship helped me constantly through my own career at the Chronicle. And in the words of Reggie Perrin's boss, CJ, I can sincerely say I didn't get where I am today without getting a lot of help and Going back to the 50s, there were about 4 or 5 of us apprentices at that time, and we had nicknames for all the senior journeymen. Ted's nickname was one of the clean ones. We used to call him Woody, after the popular jazz musician of that era, Woody Hermon. I think all of us apprentices quickly came to have a lot of respect for Woody, because he was always firm but fair with us. He always treated us as adults, despite the many practical jokes that we most frequently played. And the nearest we ever came to swearing at us was by using his most frequent exclamation, "Crikey." Later on, Ted was affectionately christened Uncle Ted by the younger female member of the staff, and I think that simple endearment really sums up the way we all feel about him. Unfortunately, I do have to tell you, there was just one member of the staff who had very little respect for Ted, and that was Tiger, the company cat. When Ted opened up his office one Monday morning, his first words were, "Crikey, what a pong." And he was confronted with a terrible smell and the sight of a large whoopsie in the middle of his favourite chair. He also discovered a very frustrated animal that had been locked in all over the weekend. Ted had to have his office fumigated and his chair recovered. And come think of it, did you see that cat again? I went too quick. Finally, however, to mark Ted's retirement, the executive directors of the company held a special luncheon for him and Alice yesterday, and they presented him with this silver tray and decanter and wine glasses, and plus a generous cheque. And they also paid many warm tributes to him. And so today, Ted, all your friends and colleagues here would like to extend those same sentiments to you and wish you and Alice a long and happy and healthy retirement, and ask you to accept these gifts as a token of our respect, admiration and affection.
Chris, you better come in on that one, I think. Otherwise it will go through the ceiling.
You said that was something you always wanted.
Well, yes, I did.
This I was a bit gobstopped yesterday.
Let me sit there, Chris, that's it. Is this two, is there?
This way, so we can see it a little bit, that's it. And we'll come when you go up, okay? Just one on here. That's lovely. Go hold it then, Chris, so we just see the front of it a little bit. Maybe just a bit down. That's it, lovely. The one more. That's, you're not taking it out. I don't look too... I don't look too forward today. Okay.
I presume I will know what this is for them.
Well, a lot of them might not know what it is because I didn't want you to find out.
You are cordially invited to take a hot air balloon flight with Freetime UK Limited. With best wishes from all the staff at the Essex Chronicle. Oh, thank you all very much. It's taken me breath away now, so... Oh, yeah.
That is the actual balloon.
That's the memento of your trip when you take it.
Very, very nice, yes. It's lovely. Thank you all very much.
Tuck yourself, Ted, tuck yourselves in close again. We'll just get you nice and close. Can we tuck Alice in there as well?
Yeah, come on.
That's right. And if you just keep that in front of your suit, Ted, so that we can see, that's lovely. Okay, because Alice is going to pray for you when you go up.
You'll be near the Lord.
Okay, that's lovely.
Thank you very much. Well, it's my turn now, isn't it? No, it's not quite so long as yours. Well, first of all, thank you all very, very, very much for what you're presenting with me today. When I open that balloon, I'll think of you all and probably jump over the corner. It's very, very kind of you, and I do really appreciate it. Thank you all very much. Also, thank you all for being here today, and especially some of you that no longer work here that I see. It's lovely to see you all. It's great. Thanks for coming. You know, many times I've been on the presenting end, and this is the very first time I've been on the receiving end of one of these presentations. And believe me, it's tough. Or I'm just getting soft, probably my old age.
Can't believe that, Ted.
I'm very pleased that Colin made the presentation on your behalf today. He was the very first apprentice that joined me nearly 40 years ago, as he's already said, and we've worked closely together ever since. I think I chose well then, but probably made one or two mistakes since. Is Roy Nichols still here? Many thanks, Colin. And also for the nice things you've said. I'm sure I don't deserve that. As Colin has already said, the directors made me some very generous presentations yesterday, and I would like to thank them again for the generosity. I have many memories, like Colin, of the High Street days, when two comps and two boys set by hand all the display adverts and all the headlines in the 8 or 12 page Essex Chronicles that we produced then. Of pushing a hand cart up Deep Street with the newspapers on it to the railway station. Of initiating the apprentices by pushing them in the hand lift and suspending them between the floors. Of hooking long tails on the backs of reporters as they were going down the high street or perhaps over to their size court. Remember too, my first pay rise, as I said yesterday, it was 2 and 6pence or 12.5p in today's money. I can hear somebody with the back saying, times don't change. I can remember standing almost on this exact spot when it was still a field and the road out the front was just a country lane. Of seeing this building go through its various stages, and it's appropriate really that the presentation has taken place where it is today, because just along the other side of that wall there was my very first department up here, the linotype department. So it's appropriate that we are in, I'm finishing the position that I started with. For all that time I've enjoyed many, many friendships. And I value the friendship that you've all shown me all down the years. Did I say all? I've always tried to treat other people as I would wish to be treated. But I'm sorry to say that there have been times when I've lapsed. There's one person here today who was heard to say after one such lapse, that Ted Hermon, he's got a nasty streak in him. And there's a Welshman here who, after writing off his company car, didn't know if he was going to get a bike or a Tesco trolley. But hissing Sid, you remember Sid, turned the scales. He was putting some black Formica on a bench one day. He spread the Evo stick all over it and then laid it down on a black floor for a few minutes. And of course yours truly came along and he shot through the air with the greatest of ease. Honestly, his feet didn't touch the ground. I've enjoyed the 49 years I've worked for the Chronicle. I've enjoyed the people I've worked with. I think really they must be a special breed, the people who come to the Chronicle. All lovely people. Well, nearly all. And I owe a lot to you all. And I thank you all for your help and your support. But I owe most of all to my faith in the Lord, and also to my dear wife of 44 years. So, thank you all very, very, very much for today. I'm glad it's not saying goodbye, because I'll still be seeing you 2 days a week. Thank you very much.
Touch him round then, let's have him. Yeah. To the front first.
It's like you can leave that just to get a nice bag.
The only one we've
We just turned around the other way.
Sorry, I've got to confiscate all the
I tell you what, there, I'm going to go and see the speed of the company car. That's it, just stay like that. It's rather careful. Okay, lovely. Okay, all there. Okay, lovely. How many more round back there? Sorry, mate. That's it. You ain't left yet, mate.
I'm worth of loose. My first roll, 2 and 6 loose. Roll and a half loose.
Try not to fight the other. Yeah, sounds surprised. Yeah.
Everybody got one?
Well, I'll see what you do.
I'll explain.
Only Bradley was here when I joined. Oh yeah, 80 now.
He was here and he
Only Bradley was here when I joined. Oh yeah, 80 now.
was here and he met with the
It's nice that Ralph won it too.
Right, folks, well, tried with Ted and Alice's help and cooperation to try and keep it as light as possible, because this particular retirement, this particular person, could have been extremely difficult indeed, and I think Ted and Alice have done magnificently for us. I just wish the Chronicle and the Gazette and the Romford Observer had the sort of intense readership of the Hermon Chronicle, and I think it's been a historic occasion. It's part of the history. This today is part of the history of the company. This has been a historic occasion. And I don't want to sort of put any, because if I say too much, I tell now, so it will be that much more difficult for them. It's been nice and light. Let's try to keep it that way for them. I'm sure they'd love you to come and have a close look at their gifts and the famous hot air balloon trip card that Ted has got. And I think we just sort of move it along.
Thank you very much. I'm just at the front page.
How are you getting Well, we're all waiting in the receiving line, I think. I think there's a queue.
Take care.
Oh, I know.
Nice little pub, isn't it?
And we love it. Oh, you do. Your husband was
Till the servants be longer.
Really fun. Very good. And how much I'm involved in it. The one day a week, you say, Dave, You never said definitely not.
You're on the side. I've got you now, I'm going to bang my car. Let's have one more.
Lovely to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you. Good. So here's our finish, you in?
Yeah.
Good.
See you later. That's right, yeah.
We just got that.
Yeah.
And one song.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Oh, I'm sure you could.
That's it. You joined us at I've got you where I want you now. Yeah, I have. Get all the other back for the last 12 years. Right, can we just lower a fraction? That's oh, that's two. No, that's okay. That's lovely. That's lovely. Slide it down, then we do a colour shot as well. Lovely. Just a colour. One more. There. Lovely. Thank you, love.
Oh, and
It's always been called before. I've always really appreciated it.